Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters. I'm your host, Mitch. Glad to have you here. Here at the Commander's Quarters, we're all about Commander on a budget. Today we've got an episode of Spare Change. Some episodes just don't fit in any of my other playlists, so this is where they end up. The topics on these episodes can vary pretty widely, so stay tuned to see what's in store for this one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. And while you're at it, subscribe and review our podcast as well. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support. So on today's episode, I'm going to talk about what to watch during the quarantine. Many Magic players are stuck at home right now, and I'm sure you could use some Magic content to help pass the time. So when you're looking for things to watch, look no further than this channel. That's right, just watch the Commander's Quarters every single episode on loop over and over again. And of course, I'm joking. This episode isn't about talking about my channel, it's about showcasing other great channels out there. But if you feel like watching one of my over 300 videos at this point, go for it. And if you want to watch something else, well, let's talk about the other channels. And just a quick note, I'm going to talk about these channels in no particular order, but I am going to try to organize them as best as I can. So first up, let's talk about some Commander gameplay channels. The first that I want to bring up is Quest for the Jank Lord. This channel is a personal favorite of mine, and I look forward to each and every single episode that comes out. Essentially, they're these four dudes that strike a deal with a demon, and they're forced to play janky EDH for the rest of eternity. Their definition of jank is each card being 79 cents or less, so that's all they can use in their decks. These guys go all in with the theme and with costumes, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. And you might even see me on one of their episodes, hint hint wink wink, episode 6. So go ahead and check out that as well as their other fantastic episodes. On top of gameplay, they do some hilarious skits as well, like How to Winston Draft. It's a pretty new channel and it's definitely on the rise, so make sure you check them out. Another channel to check out is MTG Mudsta. Andrew's channel has been around since 2014. And his first filmed Commander episode was all the way back in 2016. So basically, MTG Mudsta has been doing this for a while and he knows what he's doing. Now, I may be misspeaking here because I couldn't research this in time, but I think MTG Mudsta pretty much defined what the overhead camera style is for a Commander game. Basically, Andrew is taking you through a step-by-step of the game, talking through the cards, the interactions, etc., etc. Essentially, it's really easy to understand what's going on and to see the progression of the game. And he also throws in a good amount of humor for this too. Before the game starts, he even gives you a look at everyone's opening hand so you can kind of see maybe what the deck's about and maybe what kind of hand you might want to keep if you're playing it too. It's a very insightful gameplay channel and I highly recommend it. Next up is the Commander Versus series, which is on the Star City Games YouTube channel. This series features Justin Parnell, Jonathan Suarez, Jeremy Null, and Stephen Green. They have a ton of gameplay episodes and feature a lot of unique decks. They even have some episodes where they bend the rules just a tad so they can feature some non-legendary commanders as well. I'm talking Ink Treader Nephilim, Tamanoa, Monastery Mentor, etc., etc. Regardless, through their plethora of games, you really get to see their personality shine. There's a good amount of banter in these episodes, which can make them really entertaining. And to my knowledge, the gameplay episodes come on a pretty much weekly basis, so you've got a ton of episodes to pick from. So if you can just think of a commander that you want to watch in a gameplay episode, they've probably done one on that, so go ahead and check it out. Next up, let's talk about Loading Ready Run. Now, Loading Ready Run has a ton of content. They cover a lot of different things, including Magic. And within Magic, they've got multiple formats that they're talking about as well. You might actually know them from their pre-releases. Essentially, Wizard shows off a set ahead of time with them. But they do have great Commander content as well. And their Friday Night Paper Fight Commander episodes can be a lot of fun to watch. The way that these games are filmed are more along the lines of Commander Versus. The commander's rolling and you get to see these players interact with each other as the game's going on. And with one camera fixed on each player, you won't be missing any of their reactions. Now, next up, there's the one and only The Command Zone. Now, chances are pretty good that you're already a huge fan of them, but if you haven't seen them yet, go ahead and check them out. Anyways, Jimmy and Josh from The Command Zone have a weekly podcast where they talk about everything Commander. I even had the chance to make a trip out to their studio and do an episode with them on the best decks to build on a budget. So if you haven't seen episode 293 yet, go ahead and check that one out. But what they're best known for is their Game Nights gameplay series. Out of all the gameplay channels out there, The Command Zone definitely has the highest quality gameplay in my opinion. The graphics, the animations, and just the flow of the game are extremely exciting and a lot of fun to watch. These episodes come out once a month, and once you've seen them all, you're definitely going to be waiting at the edge of your seat for the next one. Again, when it comes to Commander gameplay, in my opinion, the cream of the crop is definitely Game Nights. But all the other channels that I've mentioned so far and that I'm going to mention are obviously very fantastic as well. Another one of those great channels is the Spike Feeders. Now, the Spike Feeders have a gameplay channel that's focused on competitive EDH, otherwise known as CEDH. Essentially the best of the best, the top tier decks in Commander just duking it out. If you're looking to get into CEDH, this is a fantastic place to start. Their gameplay episodes show off some insanely powerful decks, and their banter is fantastic. You really get to learn the Spike Feeders' personalities with each and every single episode. And they actually had me on Season 2, Episode 10, where I played my upgraded Teysa deck. Aside from gameplay though, they've got other great episodes as well, such as their Better Know a Combo series. In those episodes, they talk about what the combo is, how to execute it, how to disrupt it, and even how to prevent it. So again, if you're looking to get into CEDH, this is a fantastic resource for you. Another fantastic CEDH channel is Playing with Power. Playing with Power is CEDH gameplay that's shot in more so the MTG Mudsta style. Again, that's an overhead camera with a narrator that's taking you through play-by-play. This can be very helpful in CEDH, especially when the stack can get a little complex. Like MTG Mudsta's videos, these are going to be quick-hitting gameplay episodes that are really condensed. So while they don't feature the banter between players, they do help cut any dead space in the episodes. This makes them really clean and easy to watch, and also pack in a lot of information into a short period of time. Again, if you want to watch some really powerful and top-tier decks play, this is a fantastic option. A new channel on the scene that has made a really big splash already is Casually Competitive MTG. They only started just a few months ago, but already have a pretty sizable following. Personally, I love their logo and design, and while it's not as cool as a pig, it's still pretty cool. Anyways, their channel's gameplay type is exactly what their name is. They are casually competitive. So basically, they're just the tier below the top tier of competitive EDH. So essentially, they're doing some very powerful things, but just not the top tier things. I hope that makes sense to you. If not, just check out their channel and you'll understand it pretty quickly. Their gameplay episodes are again filmed in that MTG Mudsta overhead style. They also have a podcast called Any Responses and other episodes that just talk about CEDH topics. Again, they just hit the scene, so you might not have heard of them yet, so go ahead and check them out. But now let's move away from gameplay and move on to some channels that are about Commander decks and topics. First up, there's the EDH Recast, which is EDH Rec's podcast. EDH Rec is a fantastic resource for data on Commander, and they like to give that data a little more context. The EDH Recast features the fantastic hosts of Joey, Matt, and Dana. At this point, they've got over 100 podcast episodes, and they've tackled a ton of different topics. And since episode 101, the Command Zone actually took over their post-production work. So now they've got some really cool animations and graphics to go along with their YouTube content as well. If you hadn't had a chance to listen to them yet, I definitely recommend checking them out. Another great channel to check out is Jumbo Commander. DJ, the host of Jumbo Commander, takes you through deck techs as well as other Commander topics too. He also does live streams and some Marita content like Brawl 2. But no matter what interests you about Commander, there's definitely something on his channel for you. So if you haven't checked out DJ and his Jumbo Commander YouTube channel, make sure you do so. And DJ actually filled in for Jimmy on the Command Zone podcast for a bit, so you can see him there as well. And he's also on Game Nights episode number 23, and you can see him play his Teysa Karlov deck there. But now let's move away from Commander specifically and talk more so about channels that are about everything Magic the Gathering. Now these channels do have Commander, but they also tackle pretty much everything else in Magic. The first of these is MTG Goldfish. They tackle Modern, Standard, Pioneer, Historic, Commander, etc, etc. Again, they pretty much tackle everything. They also have a podcast that comes out every Monday, and it's one of my favorites to listen to. On that podcast, there's Richard, Krim, and Seth, who's probably better known as Saffron Olive. Anyways, they're my favorite source to stay up to date on Magic news. So if you haven't heard them yet, go and check out the podcast as well as their channel too. And of course, I can't talk about Magic channels without talking about the one and only Tolarian Community College featuring the Professor. If you haven't heard about the Professor, you've probably been living under some kind of a rock. Tolarian Community College is the biggest Magic channel out there, and for a lot of reasons. He produces really high quality content, and he's been around pretty much since the beginning of Magic YouTube channels. He has a ton of great guests on, including content creators, cosplayers, and even people from Wizards. And again, he pretty much talks about anything and everything Magic the Gathering. One of the things that I really appreciate about the Professor is that he's not afraid to speak his mind. He's a fantastic resource and voice in the Magic community, and if you haven't seen him yet, definitely go check him out. But now let's move on to a category that I'm going to call the beauty of Magic the Gathering. And I'll just let the channels themselves illustrate what this category is. So first up, we've got one of my personal favorites, Ristic Studies. Just by watching one of Sam's episodes, you can see the incredible amount of time and effort that Sam puts into this. The description of his channel says that he publishes video essays that explore the art, history, and culture of the collectible card game Magic the Gathering. But in my opinion, the video essays that he produces are art themselves. If you need to start somewhere, check out his amazing episode on the Black Lotus. It's really hard to pick and choose with all of his amazing episodes, but that one really stands out in my mind. Another great channel about the beauty of Magic is Magic Arcanum with Ryan Gomez. Ryan more so talks about the stories behind the cards in Magic the Gathering. This channel is a fantastic source for lore and some of the backstories of the cards. When a new set or a new character comes out and you want to learn more about their backstory, look no further than this channel. Personally, I always look forward to story time with Ryan as well as the Mustache Minute. Now, what exactly the Mustache Minute is, you'll have to watch the channel to find out. Now this last category I want to keep slightly separate from the other ones because these channels aren't always the most family friendly. Regardless, they've got fantastic content, but I just want to make sure I gave that disclaimer ahead of time. Anyways, the first one that I want to bring up is Affinity Artifacts, which is on Twitch. You might recognize Olivia from the cosplay community or from one of the many channels that she's been on. To name just a few, she's been on my channel, The Professors, and even Game Nights. And she's actually the newest member of the Commander Advisory Group. She's a fantastic voice in the Commander community, and she's a ton of fun to watch on Twitch. The players that are playing with Olivia are constantly changing, so you get to see some unique and fun personalities and decks. Anyways, if you're looking for some fun live Commander gameplay, look no further than Affinity Artifacts. But now let's move on to Pleasant Kenobi. Pleasant Kenobi covers a ton of different topics in Magic. From Modern to Legacy to Commander to Standard, I believe he pretty much covers it all. He's even got a Commander gameplay series on MTGO called EDH and Chill. Those episodes feature a lot of fun decks and a ton of people from the Magic community. And Pleasant Kenobi is also on a ton of Tolarian Community College episodes, so you can find him there too. Next up, there's Spice 8 Rack, and I don't even know how to go about describing his channel. I'll just name off a few episodes and you can pretty much understand how off the wall and fun he can be. 33 godless minutes of Goblin analysis. I ranked every Magic the Gathering character on friendability. Magic the Gathering's most electable government. And he even did an entire episode talking about the movie Cats. Again, I'm definitely not the best person to describe his channel or what he does, but it's very entertaining nonetheless. And last but certainly not least, there's Merchant. If you're looking for fantastic Magic Arena content, look no further than here. He shows off and goes through a ton of different decks on Arena and is a fantastic source for that. He pumps out a ton of high quality content, so there's always something new and exciting to watch. But with that, this show is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know if there's a new content creator for you that you're excited to check out. And make sure you're following us on social media for more updates and sneak peeks on future episodes. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons who help make this show possible. I truly couldn't do any of this without your support. If you want to support this channel directly, consider becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, including being able to vote on future commanders for deck tags. There are even tiers where you get your own personalized deck tag dedicated to you. You can check out all the Patreon tiers and rewards at patreon.com/commandersquarters. If you haven't already, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Here at the Commander's Quarters, we're all about budget Commander. So while you're at it, go ahead and check out some of our other types of episodes. And with that, I'm out of here. Thanks again and have a good one.